You ready?
Yep.
You're like perfect now. Okay, we're recording.
I'm always perfect, by the way.
Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Dave here. I am with a special guest today. We have Michele Ostrowski with TOC Accounting here in Stockton. And TOC Accounting has been voted best accounting firm of San Joaquin the last, how many years, Michele?
We're 5 years.
Yes.
So far.
So,
yeah.
Best of San Joaquin the last few years. Happy to have her on to break down. There's been a lot of information and data about the CARES Act and out in the public. So I wanted to invite Michele, she's a CPA, to kind of break down what's available for self-employed businesses, the everyday public, and all that good stuff. So Michele, let's, do you want to talk about potential $1,200 stimulus money for everybody?
Yeah, let's start there. I mean, knowledge is power. This is a lot of information for people to take in, and a lot of people are afraid because what they don't know, they're afraid of. The $1,200 stimulus package, there's a lot of hype around that because people are afraid that on their 2020 return, they'll have to pay it back. Oh. And that is not the case. They will report on their 2020 return. That's when the government will look and say, you know, you qualify for it or you don't, based on the $75,000 per person income.
Okay.
So they'll say, do you qualify? And if the answer is yes, the second question will be, did you already receive it? That means when you file your tax return last year, if you've already received your check, then they're not going to give it to you again. Okay. So you don't have to worry about them coming in and grabbing into the refund that you're normally used to getting, your earned income credit, any other money that you've had withheld from your paychecks that you're used to getting back. That's just not the case. It's exactly how it happened in 2008. I know that that's been, 12 years and a lot of people don't remember, but we can rest at ease that that's not going to happen. If you happen to earn more in 2020, more than $75,000, it phases out at $99,000, which means that you won't get anything after $99,000. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to make more, then of course they're going to ask for it back. But if you're in that range where you're from below 75,000, don't worry, they're not going to come in and grab it from you.
That's interesting. If somebody makes, say, $74,000 in 2019, but next year they file and they make $102,000. They're going to ask for it back or no?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have to, and that's when you can make some financial decisions. If this year with the economic changes, they're allowing you to pull money out of your retirement without a penalty, you'll pay tax on it. But you want to make sure that if that's going to affect your stimulus payment, that you don't go over the $75,000. So there are some planning tools there that you can do. Talk to your accountant about it before you make any decisions that could then make them ask for that money back.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I think if you're right on the cusp of that, or anywhere between $75,000 and $99,000 a year mark, you should probably talk to your accountant first whether you want to take the fund. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good tip for sure. All right, let's get into what help is out there for self-employed individuals, corporations, all that good stuff. I know I have a lot of real estate agent friends, so we'd like to know what's available for us, but let's talk about generally self-employed people.
So right now, starting Monday, last Monday, so let's say Tuesday, yesterday, everything's 6th. Blurred together.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in this pandemic. Yeah. Yesterday, the loan process started for small business owners for the PPP Payroll Protection Program, where you can get up to 2.5 times your monthly payroll expense loan to you. And to the extent that you use it for payroll and for there's other guidelines in there, it can be 100% forgiven.
I'm going to put up the graphic for the folks who are watching. And then, okay, can you see that? So you're talking about the PPP. That's the one, this left column here. Okay.
Right. That's for people that have employees.
Okay.
Now, starting on the 10th, which is this Friday, they're going to roll out another version of this for self-employed individuals who do not have employees. Okay. Now, obviously, we've been at a rush right now because there is only a certain amount of the $2 trillion package that is earmarked for this. So we are pushing the loans to the banks for our clients, getting the documents needed. Once that's done, then we'll start more information on the ones for your self-employment income. So that's the first package. That's the best one because you can have it totally forgiven, and that's, free money. So who wouldn't want that?
That's the PPP program.
That's the PPP program.
And from what I understand, you can correct me because you're the expert, but it's forgiven if they keep their employees on payroll. Is that right?
Right. So, and there are some guidelines to that, and there's some exceptions to that. You have to use at least 75% of it for payroll. And that means no one person can reduce their wages by 25%, or your overall payroll amount of people can't be reduced. Here's the kicker on that, though. You have someone that gets, you have 3 people in your office that get, COVID and they're home. That's not going to be applicable. It has to be for people that, that you are running and that you are using it for payroll. You might have to hire someone else, and the guidelines on that, we're still reading through all those, but you're not going to be penalized if your whole office gets sick and you can't use, you don't have as many people, but you have the payroll wages in there because you've called people in to work overtime or, whatever. So there's a couple of guidelines for that.
So this states if they're chosen and they get the funds, then they have up to 6 months before making a payment, it looks like.
So they get the money 60 days from when they get the money. They'll be called back into the bank, asked to show check stubs, payroll reports, and what have you, to prove that it was used for the proper purposes. To the extent that it wasn't, there'll be a payback period at 1% starting from 6 months from that day, and they have 2 years to pay it back. So either way, even if you don't get all of it, it's a sweet deal, even at the percentage rate. It'll keep you afloat.
So, now it's more important than ever that these businesses really have some good bookkeeping in place to be able to prove what they're paying for. Right.
Right. A good bookkeeper, good bookkeeping, a good accounting firm, someone that can get, your accountant that's answering you and giving you your reports right away. Because, if you're number 350 in a line at the bank, and when your number comes and they send you a link to send those documents in, you better have them all ready. Because if not, you get put to the back of the line again. And it can't be that you're cut off and you get nothing.
You get to start over. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay, so that's the PPP, and then you said next week the EITL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan, is gonna kick in.
No, another form of the PPP for sole proprietors without. Yeah, the other one is still the other loan is already in effect. It is a little bit more labor intensive because there's a lot of documents that it's a big application. It takes a little bit more time to fill out, but that is still in, and that is up to $2 million. It's a 3.75% interest rate. It can be paid over 30 years.
Wow.
That can fund your purchase orders, that can fund you paying for your mortgage, that can fund a variety of other things besides just payroll.
Yeah, that looks like an opportunity to do some debt consolidation.
It can be
higher debts at a higher rate. Then that's something.
It's definitely something. If people have a little bit more time on their hand, business is slowed down. Take the time, apply for the loans, because if you have something out there that is worse, you've got credit card debt or some other kind of business loan that's paying at that you're paying back at a higher interest rate. This is a good time to look at that. Yeah. It's very important to note also at the very bottom of the graph to the right, where you see that $10,000.
Right.
That is a grant. You can log on. It is literally a 3-minute application online. You put in your business name, how much you made in 2019, gross receipts, your name, your address, your social security, your birth date, what bank you want it to go into, and hit submit. If you notice it says forgiveness, there's forgiveness 100% of that and 100% of that 10K grant. It can be in your bank account as fast as 3 days.
Wow.
So everyone should go on and do that as well.
That's, are they going to come back and ask for any sort of documentation on those grants? Or do you know at this point?
Sure. I mean, right now they're only asking for your gross receipts for 2019. So they may ask for a tax return. They may ask for some other information, but they've got you kind of on the hook because they know they know where you live. They have your social security number and they have your tax, your birth date and driver's license, and whatever else they ask you for. I can't remember. I've done so many of them over the past few days, but it's an emergency fund. I mean, we need to infuse the economy with cash now.
Yeah.
People are afraid because the ones that have applied for unemployment, they're supposed to be getting an extra $600 on top of their state unemployment. These funds haven't started rolling out yet. And if they have, they're just, they're getting paid 1 week. People are saying, what am I going to pay for my groceries? They've already called their landlord, saying I'm not paying my rent this month.
Yep.
And the landlord's calling the bank and saying I can't pay my mortgage this month. So we need to infuse the cash in quick. And that's the whole point of the way that this package was written. And, if everybody can just hold tight, get your paperwork together, submit your loan applications, and then just, hunker down for a week or so, we'll get this turned around.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but for the PPP loan, for the payroll protection or employee benefit, they should go to their bank who they bank with right now. Like say they have a business account at B of A or Wells Fargo, they should go to that bank to apply?
Yes. So go to the bank that you have an established business history with. I will tell you, Wells Fargo, done. So if they have shut down, they're not taking any new applications.
Oh, wow.
Because of issues that they had in the past, it was on the news, they were given a certain amount that they could apply for with their customers. And once that number was hit, they were rejected. I had a couple of my clients that were one of the ones that got their packet returned to them and had to do something else. So I know that there are a couple banks out there in our community that are really good to work with. Hopefully you guys have some kind of established history with them. BAC is really good. Bank of Stockton is really good. F&M is really good.
Right.
Some of the local credit unions that are SBA approved, but definitely reach out to your banker first.
Okay. And then the other one, it's just, I think it's disaster.sba.gov, and I'll put the links in the post.
Perfect.
For people to read through and click on.
You absolutely can apply for it by yourself without going through a bank.
Oh, you can? Okay.
You can. However, the process is a lot longer because they're going to come back and ask for stuff after they've done all the banks first. So you do want to reach out first to them.
So if somebody should first foremost maybe reach out to their accountant, their firm. I mean, if they don't have one, are you able to assist in answering some questions?
Absolutely. So I may not have the reports that they need because they would have their reports, but we've streamlined this process so that when the bank says it's your turn, we have everything that they need. And I have a list. We've deciphered through all the different loan applications. Every bank is different. Some are asked for crazy stuff and some just, are right on the guidelines with the SBA. So call the bank first, get an appointment to drop off your application, and then call your accountant and say, I have an app. This is the bank I'm working with. Can you help me? And if you don't have someone, I can at least direct you in the right down the right path.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you breaking that down for us, for sure.
Don't be too afraid. That's why I say don't be afraid. It'll all work out. Just stay home if you can.
What's your website address so they can just look it up real quick?
So it's www.tocaccounting.com. You can email us through there. You can request a chat. You can call us through there. TOC stands for Thalborn, Ostrowski, and Crane. You're welcome. We condensed it for you. So tocaccounting.com. Reach out to us, and we're always available.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks again for meeting and chatting today. And
thank you for having me.
Got to get the word out there that there's help for everybody. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Adios.